First and foremost, before I start the video, I was intending to upload this. I think the March 30th or 31st, but I just never got around the time of writing my script. I had just been busy, I guess. But yeah, that's basically why it took such a long hiatus, a 2 week hiatus. Yeah, but enjoy the video, I guess. After my Magnus Opus, which was the Futanara video, I pondered for 2 hours, thinking about what video can come close to disproving gayness from Futanari. Then, when I was thinking about the subject in mind while I was shitting, it was, what is the proper way to wipe? You might say, there is no correct way to wipe because no one will ever see you wipe. Oh, my naive friends, how immorally unjust can you be? It has been statistically proven that distinct types of wipes and techniques have a dramatic effect on people, such as increased pleasure, dopamine levels, and increased happiness. This brings me to my three distinct types of wipes and techniques people have tried. The first method, which I refer to as the claw method, I will demonstrate this by drawing and pointing out key differences in this technique, the pros and cons within. To begin with, how do you use this technique? Well, depending on which hand is more dominant. For instance, the hand you use for everyday usage, such as jacking off, drawing, writing, eating, or any other mundane activity. So you must use this hand that is more dominant and make a claw notion. Hence why I named this the claw technique. With the claw notation, you reach your anus with the claw to wipe all the poop from your butthole. So in other words, a good and effective way to clean your bumhole. So now, what are the pros and cons? Pros, you get to sit while wiping. Therefore, you could do other activities while wiping, such as watching your favorite YouTube video or reading instructions on a Febreze can. On the other hand, the con of this technique is that whenever you retract your hand, you might get a little bit of feces on your ballsack or your state of Virginia if this is not done properly. Thus, you need to be a level 30, preferably Prestige 2, because if this technique is used improperly, you will be banished for using this technique forever. Also, this wipe has been used by the greatest generals and war personnel such as Napoleon, thus making lots of people trying to perfect the claw. Unbeknownst to them, if the claw fails, whether it's failed to mimicking the hand notation, wrong leg elevation, wrong brand of toilet paper or wipes, you will just instantly die. So I've briefly discussed the wrong way to apply the claw technique. Now it's time to figure out the correct way to apply this. Step 1. Applying the correct hand notation. I know I've mentioned this I know I've mentioned this. However, I want to reiterate this because of how vital it is to the foundation of this technique. So you must mimic the column indentation, and I will draw
Okay,
it
I'm gonna
right
show you a
here.
drawing to illustrate and demonstrate the claw technique. So here I'm gonna draw a toilet here, and here's the handle for it, and here's the seat for it, and here's the water. I'm gonna illustrate this by using the color aqua or cyan. Okay, so here's you, stick figure. You're happy, and you figured out from my video that you learned the claw technique. Oh wow, wonderful for you. Perfect. Good job. But wait, are you using the correct hand notation? Let's find out. Boom, magnifying, and we're gonna enhance. Are you sure you're using it? Here we're gonna demonstrate it. Just to make sure. So what you wanna do is put your thumb and make so basically when you use your hands and create the letter C. And with this in mind, you gotta put your thumb inside the letter C and make like a scoop thing. Right? And here's the fourth thing. This is your hand right now. Four. And then the thumb has to come inside. So this is what your hand should look like whenever you do the scoop. Oh, the claw technique. I'm sorry. The claw technique. And with this in mind, the claw will perfectly work since the hand is the correct notation. Then boom, clean rectum, clean anus, clean everything for you. You won't have any more feces near your ball sack or your state of vagina. So that's worked perfectly for you. Good job. So step 2, setting the correct leg elevation. Whenever you wipe using the claw, your leg should elevate approximately to 0.8 to 1.4 inches from the seat, where the seat has a complete zero origin. The question on everyone's mind at this point is, how can you measure your leg elevation to the seat? Well, using your hand once again, make the letter C with your thumb and your index finger. Using this should be the correct level of elevation used for the claw technique. So, the third step, seating. Depending on the manufacturer of the toilet, some seats may come in unusual size, such as being larger, wider, smaller, or less wider than the average for your buttocks. So what I mean by this is the top part of the toilet, which you can lift up for pissing and putting it down for pooping. So depending on the toilet seat, let's say for example our toilet seat is 6.2. So in order to calculate this, we must set the constant, which is 12 inches for all the average seating for toilet commissioned. So let's say for example that your toilet seat is 6.2, which is unusually small. So in order to combat this, we must take our number and subtract it by the constant, which is 12. And if it's under 14 to 13 inches, then you do not meet the requirements for the clock technique, because in order for you to clock technique, it doesn't matter how big the thigh is, you must have at least 14 inches to get a comfortable, perfect area for the claw technique. And you might say, how's that? How is why does it have to be 14 to 13 inches? Well, it's the sweet spot, you could say, like the Goldilocks in our universe or our solar system. It's perfect. It's perfect to the brim of your thigh and like not getting it like too wide where like you're gonna fall inside the toilet, or too small where like only like your bum hole can like fit. So that's basically why um it has to be 14 13 inches, because it's the Goldilocks. Okay, step 4, toilet paper. So how do you calculate the brand of toilet paper when there are so many different types of toilet papers, right? I mean, this step is really vital to qualify you to do the claw technique. Because using the claw technique, the the toilet paper or wipes must be in the most prestigious condition. And to do this, you must use the most convoluted and specific mathematics imaginable to calculate this. No, I'm just kidding. Just remove the first layer of toilet paper and it's basically good job. Doesn't really matter the wipes. As long as if it's good quality, you know? And that's basically it. But there's a final disclaimer. If the toilet paper or wipes break while wiping, God forbid that. But if it does break, your life is over. Practically, it's over because you can spontaneously combust.
Whoa,
But how
whoa,
can
whoa,
this
whoa,
happen?
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Well,
whoa!
because of the
Hey, hey,
friction
hey,
of the
hey, hey,
wipes.
hey, hey!
So let's say that you're wiping and you try to do the claw formation, and the toilet paper breaks, it causes spontaneous flame to appear on the paper toilet because of how powerful the claw technique really is. So, if you do this, a spontaneous flame will go and travel up your rectum. Then, boom, you're basically dead. So, make sure, and God forbid, I hope, God forbid, that it breaks, because I just explained that if it breaks, you spontaneously combust and you fucking die. So, please, please do not let toilet paper or wipes break while midway through claw technique. Take my advice. I'm not joking. I have seen countless of deaths related to the people using the claw technique, and the toilet paper breaks. So please, please, please do not let the toilet paper break. Please. With that being said, we are now moving into our second type of wiping. So before I get into this technique is really flawed, and I think it's the most incorrect way to wipe out of the two that we're gonna discuss right now. And these two wiping techniques have caused like bitter debate against like its community because of how controversial it is. And I give my own input and shit. So
Yeah. So you might think, so you might heard of it. It's called the sitting down technique, and it's kind of self-explanatory. But for those people that don't know, I'm gonna get into it right now. So with that being said, I'm gonna go over this technique. Okay. So here are my bullet points here. The pros and cons. I will talk about the pros and cons. I will demonstrate this technique by visually, auditorially describing this to you and providing historical background to this technique. Once again, I will take the claw method as like a reference point, I guess. So just like the claw technique, you use your more dominant hand in order to wipe. And basically, what you do is instead of wiping like in front of you, because that's what the claw technique essentially did. Like you get your dominant hand, and then you basically put your hands in front of you and scoop like under your fucking ball sack, and then you scoop up. But what contrasts this from the sit down technique is that you go from the back instead of the front, and then you scoop up towards your back and next to your caucus, which is your tailbone. And that's essentially what's the difference between the claw technique and the sitting down technique. And what makes the claw technique more harder to perform is that you need a correct angle from your legs. So let's say that your private part is the origin, which is 0, 0, and you need to have like a perfect 90-degree angle in order to get the perfect amount of poop out and not to get it around your calves or your thighs. Actually, I don't know why I said calves. I mean your thighs, and that's what makes the claw method so meticulous, and the reason why you need to perfect the other techniques in order to use the claw technique. With that being said, sitting down technique, that's how you do it. Okay, so basically we're gonna go over the pros and cons now. I found this article by Whisper uh Bit Bits. I don't know why it took me so hard to say that. So basically, what this article it highlights all, I guess, all the pros and cons between sitters and standers, which is the other technique that I'm going to talk about. So according to the sitters, one of the pros is that the first and foremost pros of sitting is that by the time you're ready to wipe, you're already sitting. Sitters argue that standing to perform the task is more effort than necessary. Another pro to keeping your cheeks on the pot is that in that position, the aforementioned cheeks stay spread, preventing any cheek on cheek smearing. That means easy cleaning access. And wow, okay. So I'm gonna just no, actually, I'm not gonna disprove it because I guess they have a point there. Okay, so based on the article, it states that a con for sitting is that standards say the primary negative to sitting is the proximity that your hand comes to the toilet. Other cons include possible contamination of additional body parts, including the visual inspection. That's actually as far as my research has shown. Okay, cool. Well, not just that, that sitters aren't allowed to look at the creation, right? I'm not gonna talk too much into. I'm not gonna talk too much in detail because I believe that's a pro of being a stander. And if you find statistics interesting, the article says that Whisper conducted a survey of 100 people, split equally between men and women, polling them on their sit or stand preferences. We found that 79% of respondents were sitters, and only excuse me, and only 21 stand up to wipe. Similar studies conducted by internet outlets found an even more split, approaching 50-50 though. We are unsure those surveys specified the O, squat, and hover as sitting, which we did in ours. Huh. I feel like this has some bias because literally before you get to sitting pro, I'm pretty sure the author of this fucking article says full disclosure, I'm a long life sitter. So I'll do my best to keep my own white bias out of this pros and cons. Yeah, I don't know, buddy, because Sitting pros are significantly larger than standing pros, which kind of seems like a little bit of bias there. Okay, so unlike the Arthur, I'm not gonna provide any bias here. So I'm gonna talk about the standing pro. So the article states that the primary approach to standing, according to standards, is that your hand never goes anywhere near a toilet bowl. They're particularly passionate about this point in regards to public toilets. Fair enough. Those things can be gross. Okay. Okay. I don't think you need to emphasize that. I'm pretty sure no one ever shits publicly. Like what the fuck? No one uses public toilets. Come on. What the fuck? We're not fucking chimps or Neanderthals. Come on, man. Alright, here's another one. Another pro is that for those that inspect their wipes, there is plenty of space to bring the toilet paper slash wet wipes from the bag to the front without the danger of accidentally touching it to another part of your body. No one wants a poopy thigh. What the fuck is he talking? What the fuck? Jesus, I didn't know how fucking complex this fucking debate actually was. What the fuck? Jesus. Okay, so based on the article, it states that a con for standing is that sitters point out to a few cons in the stand to wipe method. Primarily among them is that when you stand, your cheeks close up and access is greatly limited. When a stander counters that, you simply hold up your cheeks open with your other hand. A sitter will resort that that's a lot more effort than should be necessary. The second major con. A small third is the possibility of missing the bowl when you toss a wad of paper. Who the fuck would throw their paper inside the fucking toilet while you're standing? How how the fuck can you miss that? That's so blatantly stupid. And fucking spreading your cheeks so that access is greatly limited. Who the fuck? Oh my god. Who the fuck? Like I'm so dumbfounded at this point. That is not a con. What the fuck? Oh my god. So fucking brain dead. Wow. Wow. Okay, so touching on the basis of the previous rant, it stated that standards will fucking throw their fucking toilet paper while standing up inside the fucking bowl. Okay, you do not know how profusely I've been fucking letting out my anger because of that. Who, in the love of God, will throw their paper while standing? Oh my God, you can't even miss it. How can you miss it? How? It's so close. It's just right fucking there. Look at my fucking arrows. It's right there. No one could fucking miss. Not even a fucking retard could miss. I'm sorry for my vulgar language and being insensitive, but Jesus, no one in the fucking world could ever miss. Who the fuck will miss? Who? Exactly who? It's so close. Not even a couple of inches. It's only a couple of fucking inches. Only. Only. But, it's a fucking con. No, it's not a con because no one could ever miss it. For my fucking life, I've been a stander. I have never missed the toilet bowl. I mean, I could ask random people, but I'm pretty sure they won't fucking admit it. But still, no one could miss the fucking bowl. No one. No one. I have never met anyone that would ever miss a fucking piece of toilet paper, or matter of fact, wipes, which have more mass to it, and is this okay? If people say that they miss toilet paper, sure, but no one can miss wipes. There's so much. They have so much more mass compared to fucking toilet paper. Like, oh my god. If you dude, okay. So let's say a person, hypothetically, a person misses a toilet, right? What if they have a fucking trash bin here? They can't miss the trash bin. For the love of God, no, they cannot miss the trash bin. That's impossible. So I just fucking dismantled and destroyed the third con, which it shouldn't even be a con. It's so fucking dumb. Jesus. Okay, so to conclude every single point that has been made,
Standards obviously is the best. Like there's like no competition there. And if you want to be flamboyant, then use claw. But remember all the things I provided to you. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, thank you very much. I spent so much time on this shit. And uh, after this video, I'm gonna upload a music video, so stay tuned for that. See ya. Thank you.